Hello and welcome back to my channel, Lovely Lego Addict. And I am back with a review, which basically just means I talk about a set for a good amount of time. I don't always do these, not for every single set anyway, but sometimes I have sets and I'm like, I need to talk about these, so here we are. This is a set I need to talk about mostly because I was massively on the fence about this one. When it got announced and I saw pictures of it, I was totally like in love with it. I think it looks amazing. I've watched the show Queer, I really enjoyed it, definitely needed a tissue for pretty much any episode because I'm a crybaby. And when this came out, like, I really enjoyed the pictures. I thought it looked really exciting. Obviously there was huge hype on the white masonry bricks, and like looking into this set there is a lot to love. So let me just start with all the things that made me want to buy it, but why I didn't straight away. So the Queer Eye set Fab 5 Loft costs £90 in the UK, which, if you want to compare that to, for example, the Central Perk set, of which I have an example right here, this one was £65, so there's a decent amount of difference between the two. This can always be like licensing agreements, prints, all that kind of stuff. We'll go into that in a minute. Also, there's obviously a decent amount of time difference between this set and that set. Definitely raw material prices have gone up in the meantime, as well as like demand and stuff. So there's lots of factors that come into like why certain things will be more expensive. But in my head, these are sort of like similar-ish sets of similar-ish sizes, though the Central Perk one is slightly smaller. But when this was first announced and I was like analysing all the images, I was like, this looks amazing, there are so many things to love. The minifigure selection was really exciting, so many new, unique, beautiful prints, and basically I was really excited. This set is just chock full of detail, beauty and excitement. But even though I really loved it, for ages I didn't buy it because I always kind of like try and buy sets that I actually have room for, display wise. My issue with the really cool sets like this, like Seinfeld, like Brand's Apartments, like Central Perk, their layout is one level and it's quite wide, which is like the worst type of set for me to display considering my like height restrictions and like my, basically considering like my display solutions that I have. So these types of sets, even though I really like it, like the Friend's Apartment set, I really like, but I haven't purchased because they're quite expensive and because I can't display them anywhere. That makes justifying the money for them quite difficult because like I would literally be buying them to build and then just break down again. I ended up actually finally buying it when I was in Edinburgh with Amiga Man, and I think we both had a similar reaction because they actually had to build one of these in a display unit, and actually seeing this built convinced me to get it because it was a bit bigger than I thought. It looked so nice in real life that I was like, actually, no, I do really want this. Definitely kudos to the Lego store in Edinburgh. Like, if this hadn't been built, I don't think I would have picked it up. Also, the time that I picked it up, I had a £50 VIP voucher to use, which kind of made it easier to justify the money because I wasn't like spending the whole £90, I was only spending 40, which is obviously way easier to justify than 90. So let's go into the reasons after I built it why I actually really like it. I think you should buy it. So if you like buildings, modular or otherwise, this is like amazing because this is essentially like an accessory pack with amazing items to do an amazing mock out of. This set is chock full of basically all masonry bricks to build up the sides, really useful things to create the floor, printed elements which are unique, and like a masterclass in furniture building. And it was just such a joy to build. Basically, whilst building it, I was like, I need to make this into a mock. I really want to make this into like a modern apartment building somewhere. It is so pretty. I know some MOCs exist where you can kind of make it part of the sitcom tower, but I'm not super keen on that because I think this would actually be perfect to make into like a modern type townhouse rather than like the more decorative modulars out there. So I think this would be really good if you wanted to do like more of like a slick black modern clean look. Not only do you get amazing elements, you also get an amazing amount of new prints. Now, let me just put it out there first. This does also come with a lot of stickers. There is definitely a decent amount of stickers in the set. Some of the art on the wall, like the Fab and the Yas Queen, the boards, the avocados, the sticker on the espresso machine, the TV, the book print, all those things, they're all stickers. However, there is a lot of prints. So the Style, Taste, Class panel is printed. There is a lot of like the really cool print for the rug, which is a really nice print. There is printed like hob tiles for like the cooking hob. And there is also a crazy amount of minifigure accessories. So we've obviously all talked about the fact that this comes with extra torsos without hands. Now, fun fact, they don't actually come without hands. They have hands in them when you take them out of the boxes. They're basically alternative torso for the Fab Five, so you can choose what kind of torso you want them to wear, and then the rest you can hang up and take the hands out of, so they're like spare clothes. Honestly, that means that there's like 3 extra torsos in there. Not only that, you also get 2 extra hair pieces, an extra hat, and 2 extra trousers, just that aren't even minifigures. Also, all the other minifigures in this set are all unique new prints. The extra torsos that hang here, all unique new prints. There is a great amount of minifigure detail. If you love your minifigures, if you love your detailed torsos and new face prints, this set is for you. You need it. It's amazing. I'm a huge fan of all the minifigures you got in this set. And actually, I'm currently hiding one from you because there is one that I put in here, which is the like makeover one. So this is the same face as that figure because they're basically the same lady, Stacey Dooley. However, it's dual printed, so you can change her expression, and she also comes with a new torso. So basically there's like 7 minifigures in this set, but then there's essentially 3 more minifigures just without the heads of clothes that you get in accessories, which is just amazing. Also, the furniture builds that you do for this set are just the most fun. Definitely a masterclass on how to furnish your apartments with Lego furniture. They are so much fun to do. I've learned loads. There is so much detail to look at. I really loved working on this set. And even the back is utilized where they like behind here, I've put all the like minifigure accessories so you can do like the makeover things. The reason I went with this over the Friends apartment set, which I really like as well, is because this is slightly more compact and therefore it was like slightly more justifiable, and I maybe can find a bit of a space for it. But I really feel like they've utilized the space super well in this set. It's quite nicely laid out, it's quite compact, and every bit of space is used. One of my favorite bits is actually how they created the window here. It's just really beautiful, and I really like that there's like little plants in the window, and it looks quite nice from the outside as well. So the elements for that are fantastic. If you're not sure about this sort of like sitcom style layouts of sets, but you like mocking or you like creating buildings, this is basically like the perfect set to buy to create mocks out of, because there are so many amazing elements in here, so many useful elements and furniture that you can reuse into fantastic mocks, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a decent amount of them with people using it. I think my absolute favourite detail in this set is probably the coffee machine, because Ben and I have just gotten like a really fancy coffee machine, and this is essentially that coffee machine just in Lego, so that made me really excited. So there is a few things that I don't love about this set. They are really minor and all overcomable. I have to say that the kitchen is slightly too tall compared to minifigures, in my opinion. Like the kitchen counters kind of come up to like their torso here, which in my opinion is too high. It should be slightly lower. I know why they did it because it allowed them to create a little bit more detail, but I feel like it's just a little bit too much. It's fine if the minifigures sit in the chairs provided. It's just like when Anthony stands behind the kitchen by the hobs are like so high, it just seems a bit odd. You can't really tell when you're just displaying it, it's just when you put the minifigure especially there. My other minor thing that I don't love about this set is this corner here. As much as I really like the furniture bits that they use here and put there, and obviously I know that this is based on an actual apartment, I feel like it's kind of a little bit redundant. I don't think I want to like them not to include it because I like all the elements that come in that bit, but yeah, it does seem like a bit of a random corner that isn't utilised amazingly because the huge pot plant kind of blocks you from going in there. It's just a little bit random, basically. However, I like the furniture that sits there, and I like that you get like loads more masonry bricks in order to create it, so you know, it's not like a lost cause, it's just something that I was thinking about whilst building it. Maybe my other least favourite thing about the set is this one minor complaint I have, is that this coffee table is not attached to anything. It is because they had to create a see-through like glass table, which is quite hard to do, so you kind of need to use like a window piece, and in order for it to be a coffee table you kind of had to use these elements to keep it low. It makes sense why it is the way it is. I'm not like complaining hugely about that, but I think it would have been nicer if it was attached to something I don't like when furniture isn't attached. It just means that when I move things are falling over and it's such a pain. But yeah, there is that. Right, so overall I think this is a fantastic set, and actually I am very impressed with it. when my first sort of sitcom style set like this was Central Perk, and I really enjoyed that set. I was just so impressed with how much detail was in that one. It just felt so lively, so colourful, and I thought, you know, partially it's because of the type of set it is, and I think they've really continued that type of level. I really think they've continued that sort of like level of detail with this set, and it kind of reminded me why it was really fun to buy these slightly different type sets, because you get so much interior detail which you don't always get in other sets. And for £90 I think this is amazing value if you're like a new AFL or you haven't got the biggest budget but you like adult focused sets like this one, the Central Perk Friends idea set. All of these are like a perfect way to kind of get into the really exciting detail of Lego without spending like double that on a modular, which is obviously quite a lot of money more. You know, not that I don't think it's worth it. My only other point I wanted to make is, if you haven't seen the show, I don't think that matters. Like, this set is still really fun to buy. I think the minifigures will still hold up even if you don't know or haven't got any connection to the show. I just think it's a really great example as to how you can create a beautiful modern Lego building. This is still a set you could really enjoy because the stuff you get in here is really fun. So if you like minifigures, you can just get it for the minifigures. If you like unique prints, get this for the unique prints. If you want to make MOCs, get it for the MOC potential. You don't need to love the show in order to buy this, because there is just so much fun stuff in here that's going to be appealing for anybody. So don't feel like if you're not a Queer Eye fan, or if you haven't watched it, this isn't for you. Like, you can still really get so much enjoyment out, and I would 100% recommend it for the amount of masonry bricks and minifigure accessories that you get in a set. Alrighty, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about the set, in case you're on the fence about buying it, let me know in the comments. I can always help out. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope it was useful to you, and I look forward to chatting to you all very, very soon. See you all later, guys. Bye! Howdo!